Hello and welcome to Hexcells Solver. Today we are working on puzzle number 8. So let's go ahead and get this thing generated. Alright, lots going on in this puzzle. Pretty large puzzle, 62 bombs that we are looking for. And right off the bat I'm seeing a starting point of this 2 with the dashes means that there are 2 bombs within this row. However, the dashes indicate that the bombs cannot be consecutive. So since there is a bomb already in this column, we can go ahead and open up either side. And in doing so, we get this 2 with the brackets. The 2 with the brackets is the exact opposite of this 2 with the dashes. It means that there are 2 bombs surrounding this 2, and they need to be consecutive. So they need to be, since there's a bomb here, they need to be either here or here. So both bombs are touching each other. So we can go ahead and open up the other cells that are not touching those, and in doing so we get a 3 with only 3 surrounding it. We also get a 2 with only 2 surrounding it. Now this 2 is now satisfied since we have 1 and 2, so we can go ahead and open that cell. Alright, and take a look, we actually solved this 2 with the dashes here, so we can go ahead and open all the cells within that column and close out that clue. Now, there's an interesting interaction with this 2, and this 2 column here. So with this 2 here, it already has 1 bomb touching it, meaning that 1 bomb needs to go in either of these 2 cells. And with this 2 with the brackets, remember that both bombs within this column need to be touching each other. And so if we were to put a bomb here, in this cell, another bomb would need to go either here or here. So if there was a bomb here and another one went here, this 2 would be overly satisfied, so to have 1, 2, and 3. So we know that's not the combination. If a bomb were to go here and underneath it, this 2 would be overly satisfied, and so that's not the combination either. The only other combination remaining would be this cell here and actually this one down here, because technically in this column those 2 are consecutive since there is no clickable tile in this space here. So now that column is now solved, so we can go ahead and open up all the rest of the tiles there. We get a 1 that it does have 1 touching it. We can go ahead and open that up. We also get this 2 with only 2 tiles touching it, so we can mark both of those. This 2 is now satisfied. And let's take a look here. We have a 1 that is satisfied. We get a 4 with only 4 cells touching it. This 2 up here now is satisfied. This 2 is now satisfied. This 1 is satisfied. And already we're making some good progress, kind of creeping our way into the middle of this puzzle here. Now let's take a look at, actually it looks like this 3 with the dashes has 1, 2, and 3 tiles marked, so we can go ahead and open up the rest of the cells there. And we get another 3 with only 3 tiles touching it, so we can mark that too. Alright, let's take a look at, let's close out that column and take a look at the 7 here. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, and then only 4 more remaining cells within this flower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This 7 flower is taken care of. This 2 up here is now taken care of, and we get a 1 that has 1 bomb touching it. We get another 1 with only 1 bomb touching it. We get a 2, so 1 and 2. That is now satisfied. And taking a look at this column of 6, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is satisfied as well, which does satisfy this 2 up here as well. So we can go ahead and open those. We get a 3 with only 3 tiles touching it. This 2 is now satisfied, 1 and 2. Now taking a look here, we do have this column of 3 with the dashes, meaning that the 3 bombs within this column cannot be consecutive. Since we already have 2 that are consecutive, we know that this cannot be a bomb. Alright, now taking a look here, what do we got going on? Let's take a look at this 6 here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bombs already marked within the 6th flower, meaning that there are 2 more bombs out of these 3 tiles. of which, looking at this clue here, the 4 with the dashes. So if we mark both bombs in either one of these, or in both of these tiles, that would actually break that rule of this 4 with the dashes. So we know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Only one bomb can go in between these for 5, and so this must be a bomb for 6. Let's take a look here at this 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bombs already marked in this 8 flower. And because of this 4, since there are only 2 touching it, or 2 bombs marked that are touching it currently, we know the remaining 2 bombs for this 8 flower have to be surrounding this 4 with the dashes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8 are going to go in these remaining 4 tiles, but we're not sure of the order, and so we can go ahead and actually open up these other 2 tiles within that flower. In doing so, we do get a 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That is now satisfied. And let's take a look at this 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know 6 and 7 need to go surrounding this 4, meaning that one of these 3 tiles is going to satisfy the 8, but we're not sure which one quite yet. Let's take a look at this 5 over here. So we have 1, 2, 3. There are 2 more bombs in this subset of 4 tiles here within this flower. And taking a look here, we have this 3 column, so 1, 2, and one of these is going to be a bomb. So let's take a look here, and might be able to actually kind of point out and see where we can go. I'm going to bring out my drawing tool here. So if we were to place a bomb in this cell here, that would satisfy this 3 column, because it would have 1, 2, and 3. So this could not be a bomb. This could not be a bomb. This 2 would then have 1 and 2 touching it, so this could not be a bomb. And so within this 5 flower, we would then be left with 1, 2, 3 tiles already marked, and only 1 more tile available to mark as a bomb, which only leaves 4. And so that actually, our original clue, this cannot be a bomb. So let's go back to the puzzle and know that this is not a bomb. And because of that, this 2 only has 2 tiles touching it, so we can mark that cell there. This 1 now is satisfied. We can open up both of those. And this 3 column now has 1, 2, and 3 tiles left within it, so we can go ahead and close out that clue. This 5 flower has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so we can open up the remaining tile and close out that clue as well. This 2 is already satisfied, 1 and 2, and we get a 1, which is satisfied, so we can open up the tiles surrounding that as well. We get a 3 with only 3 tiles touching it, and this 1 only has 1 tile touching it, which satisfies this 2, so we can go ahead and open up that remaining tile as well. Alright, so let's take a look at this 8 once again, now that we kind of marked with this 3 down here. So we have 1, 2, I'm clicking on this 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if we remember, the remaining 2 must be surrounding this 4 with the dashes. So we can actually go ahead and open up this tile here, knowing that both of the bombs to satisfy this 8 flower have to be surrounding this 4. Let's double check with this 8 just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And this 6 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one of these 2 would make 6. So with that clue, actually, we know with this 4, one of these 2 needs to be a bomb, and one of these top 2, or bottom 2, needs to be a bomb as well. But we're not sure what the coordination is. However, with this dashes, we also know that we can actually kind of link the different tiles together. So 1, 2, if this were a bomb, we know this can't be a bomb, and this can't be a bomb because of this 4 with the dashes. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, this can't be a bomb, otherwise they'd be consecutive, and because of the 6, If this one is a bomb, this one cannot be a bomb. And so this tile and this tile would need to be marked. And the reciprocal is true. If this tile were a bomb, then this tile would have to be open. Or a bomb as well, excuse me. So if this were a bomb, this would have to be a bomb. And if this were a bomb, this would have to be a bomb. And if you can see where my logic is going here, with this 2 here, since this is already a bomb, we know that one of these 2 tiles has to be a bomb. If they weren't, we would have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in a row, which would break this 4 with the dashes rule. So with this 2, we know the one more bomb to satisfy it needs to be in either these 2 spaces, meaning that we can actually go ahead and open up the remaining spaces surrounding that tile. And doing so, we're going to actually look at this 5 column here. So it already has 2 bombs marked and 5 open tiles here. So we have 1, 2. If you remember our logic that we just did here, one of these 2 needs to be a bomb for 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then looking at this 2 with the ashes here, if this were a bomb, so 1, 2, 3, 4, one of these 2 needs to be a bomb as well to make 5. Both of these cannot be a bomb, as that would break this 2 with the dashes rule. And so we know 1, 2, 3, 4, and the remaining 1, this needs to be a bomb. Alright. Let's take a look here. Once again, I'm going to bring out my handy dandy drawing tool here. And we can kind of see some additional logic here. And one of the things that I'm looking at is this 3 column with the dashes. So if we were to put a bomb here, I'm going to mark it on top there. We're going to do bomb, and then not a bomb, we're going to do in blue underneath. Well, let's start with this X being a bomb. We know 1, 2, this would be the 3rd, if we were looking at the red, 3rd bomb within this column. And so this cell cannot be a bomb. And looking at this 5 column, remember that one of these 2 cells needs to be a bomb. And so if this were a bomb, that's not a bomb. This would need to be a bomb, which then would open up the remaining cells surrounding this 2. Now let's switch to blue and say if this were not a bomb, what would happen? So in this column of 3 would have 1, 2. This would not be a bomb, so the bomb would have to go here for 3. And looking at this cell with the dashes, the 2 with the dashes, if this were a bomb, both of the bombs surrounding this 2 with the dashes cannot be consecutive, and so we know this is not a bomb. This would also not be a bomb, and this would have to be a bomb. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, all right, well, what does that tell you? You have bomb, not bomb, bomb, not bomb, bomb, not bomb, bomb, not bomb. A really key point here is this cell here, which in either case, whether this cell were a bomb or not a bomb, this cell has to not be a bomb. So let's go back to the puzzle and open that up. All right, so that was this cell here cannot be a bomb. And we get a 2. Okay. So let's take a look here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't really do much there. Let's actually do the same exact thing. Looking at now that we have this 2 clue in here, as I feel like that's going to point us to where we can go next. So let's change this to red. Make this once again. If this were a bomb, this cannot be a bomb because of this rule with the 2s. If this were a bomb, this cannot be a bomb. And the only cell remaining around this 2 would be this one. This would have to be a bomb. And already that breaks this tile's 2, as both this cell and this cell are not bombs, meaning that only this cell would be remaining, and it would only have 1 cell touching this 2, which does not satisfy it. And so already we know this opening clue here with this cell here, this cannot be a bomb. which would make this one the actual bomb. Go ahead and cross that out. And so let's go ahead and enter this back in so we know that this cell right here is not a bomb. So let's go back to the puzzle and enter that in. All right, perfect. And so this cell here we know cannot be a bomb. And we get a 3, which is a huge clue. So 3 with only 3 tiles touching it, 1, 2, and 3. That actually satisfies this 3 in the middle here, so we can go ahead and open these 2 cells. And unfortunately that doesn't help us with this 2 here or this 2 here, but let's take a look at this 8 here. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells marked as bombs. We know one of these 2 cells needs to be a bomb, but we don't know where the other bomb is going to be. However, let's take a look at that in conjunction with this column of 7. So this column of 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles within it, meaning that there's only going to be 1 open space out of the 4 remaining open spaces here. So it'd have 1, 2, 3, let's say one of these 2 were open, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if you remember with this 8, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so it needs 2 more bombs within this column of 8. Looking at this column of 7, we see that inside the flower there are 3 cells. So if this 8 needs 2 bombs, they need to go on this line of 7, which means that this has to be a bomb. And the remaining 2 bombs to satisfy this column of 7 and to satisfy this flower of 8 need to be on this line. So we can actually go ahead and open up the remaining cells, which then give us the clues that we need here. So this 3, 1, 2, and 3, and this 3, 1, 2, and 3 are needed to be marked to be able to satisfy this flower of 8, which now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bombs within it. We know this cannot be a bomb. We can go ahead and close out that flower. We can also go ahead and close out this column of 7 here. And actually, that helps us with this column of 3. So 1, 2, and this must be a bomb to satisfy this column of 3. This 2 with the dashes is now satisfied, so we can go ahead and open up that clue. And we get another 2, which is already satisfied. On the left here, we get a 2 with only 2 cells touching it. This 2 has 1 and 2 bombs touching it, so that is satisfied. We get a question mark there, which is totally fine. But looking up here, we have this column of 3, or this tile with a 3 on it that only has 1, 2, and 3 cells touching it. I'm actually going to jump up to this corner here. This 2 is now satisfied, 1 and 2, so we can open up that tile. And we do get a 2. It already has 1 bomb touching it, so we know one of these 2 cells needs to be a bomb, but we're not sure exactly where quite yet. Let's take a look at this column of 3. So it already has 2 cells that are marked as bombs, and technically they are consecutive, but this cell here, if it were marked, technically that is 3 in a row. Would actually break that rule here, since there is not a clickable tile in this blank space here, and so we know that this cannot be a bomb. Otherwise, it would break this rule with the 3 of the dashes. So we can go ahead and open up that tile there. We get a 2. All right. Let's take a look here. Looks like we can do some cleanup work here. So this 4 with the dashes has 1, 2, 3, 4. That is satisfied here. This 6 is not satisfied. This 5 is not satisfied. This 3 needs 1 more. This 4 needs 2 more. This 4 needs 3 more. Let's take a look at this column with the 7. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells already marked within it. So it only needs 1 more cell to be a bomb. That in conjunction with this 2 right here, we know one of these must be a bomb, and the other one to satisfy this 2 then needs to go here. And so with the 7, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these 2 would make the 7th. So we can actually go ahead and open up the remaining cells within that within that row. And we get a 2 in the bottom corner here with only 2 cells touching it. So we can go ahead and mark those. Now, looking at this 3 with the dashes, remember it has 1 and 2 bombs already marked. With this 3, so this column of 3 only needs 1 more bomb out of these 3 cells. But with this 3 here, it already has 1 bomb touching it. And if one of these 2 cells were a bomb, that would make 2. And so this must be a bomb to make 3. We can't mark both of these cells over here, as that would overly satisfy this column. And we can't mark this bottom cell down here as a bomb, as these 2 would be open, and the cell with the 3 would only have 2 tiles touching it. And so we know 1 bomb has to go in either of these 2 cells, in which we can actually open up this bottom cell, which gives us a 2, and that pretty much solves it from there. It only has 2 cells touching it, or 2 tiles touching it, so we know both of those have to be bombs, which then satisfies this 3, 1, 2, and 3, meaning that this cannot be a bomb. This 2 then, or we can go ahead and close out that column here. This 2 then only has 2 tiles touching it, so both of those need to be bombs. This 7 has 7 bombs within it and no tiles remaining to be clicked, so we can go ahead and close out that rule as well. So with this 3 as well, 1, 2, this one must be a bomb for 3. Looking at this column of 4, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 bombs marked, so this tile up here cannot be a bomb, which then solves this 2, as it only has 2 tiles remaining that are touching it, so this must be a bomb. So we can go ahead and close out that 4. And let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this column, this 4 with the dashes. So it actually only has 4 tiles left in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since there is a space in between the tiles, the dashes rule makes sense. We can actually go ahead and mark all of those tiles there, which satisfy this 4 column. This 2 is now satisfied, because it has 1 and 2 bombs touching it, so we can go ahead and open that. This 2 is now satisfied as well, since it has 1 and 2, so we can open up the remaining bombs there. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this column of 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bombs that are already marked, and only 2 bombs remaining to make 5 and 6. So we can go ahead and mark both of those and close out that column. Beautiful. Look at this 5 column here. It now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs marked. So we can go ahead and open up this tile here and close out that column. And actually, with our rule with the 6 flower, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this must be a bomb to satisfy that. This 8 is now satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this 8 flower is now satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we can close out all of those as well. This 4 column with the dashes, since there is a space around this bomb here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all the bombs within that column. We could go ahead and close that clue out. This 5 column also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs marked already, so we can go ahead and open up the remaining 2 cells, which closes out that clue as well. And in doing so, we do get a 4 here, with only 4 tiles touching it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And taking a look here, we only have 1 bomb remaining throughout this whole puzzle. Let's take a look here. So these 2 do not have any clues surrounding it. This doesn't have a clue surrounding it. The only clue on the board here that has an open tile, or guesswork almost, or a bomb needs to be touching it, is this clue right here. And so we know a bomb needs to go in either of these 2 spaces. So we can actually go ahead and open up the remaining cells within this puzzle besides these 2, and hopefully one of these 2 cells will give us a clue as to where the bomb will actually go. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll open up all the tiles in this puzzle besides these 2, and sure enough, we do get that that final clue here, this 2 with only 2 tiles touching it. So this must be where the bomb is, and this must be an open space to then solve the puzzle. Pretty somewhat challenging puzzle, not as bad as some of the ones that we've had so far, but still pretty fun. And yeah, go ahead and try and solve it for yourself. But we will see you next time.